it is time, and I can't wait. Wren put out Vincent's tail, and I'm excited. Vincent's tail, sunflowers, prologue. I am excited, and I'm nervous because I don't want to miss a thing. Oh my goodness, are we ready for this? So, to get our minds into the groove, you, first of all, can open up 5 different tabs if you like. The trilogy, the Jenny and Screech trilogy, and the one where I introduced my sweet friend Wendy Nunnery to the Jenny and Screech trilogy. So you got a lot of reviews to catch up on if you haven't seen them yet. So open up those tabs, but don't go anywhere. Oh, and then open up another tab for me if you haven't yet, which I'm assuming you have, but if you haven't yet, where you are going to go to Wren's YouTube and make sure to subscribe to him, please. Let's listen just for a second to the tale of Jenny and Screech, just to get into the feeling. Okay, that's that. Then we had Violet's tale. Just a couple of seconds. Go watch the full thing on Wren's. Very different feeling, very different emotion. Oh, those runs, I can't get over it. Those riffs, the guitar. Okay, and now it's Vincent's tale. The name Vincent. I'm trying to think if I know anybody named Vincent. I don't know if I know a person with the first name of Vincent, but it has that maybe like the older man's name kind of feeling. So which older man of this story, of this saga, is this? Is this the police officer? Is this the dad? Jenny and Screech's father? Violet's partner? Who is Vincent? I can't wait to check this out with you guys. Make sure to subscribe to Wren. Subscribe here, and let's dive in.
Tragic scenes last night in London. A 14-year-old girl was found dead from a fatal stab wound. Her attacker, a 14-year-old boy, is in critical condition after a violent altercation with a police officer.
That's interesting, because in Jenny and Screech, we weren't quite sure how that situation ended, if that took Screech's life or not. So he's in critical condition in this context.
Over to reporters on the ground for more.
Oh, such a beautiful shame. The sunflowers wilt when the skies do not rain. It's a story I'm sure we all know.
I love that the chords in this one, dun, 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 fit so well with the interlude, the introduction, the prelogue, if you will, of both Violet's tale as well as Jenny and Screech's. They're all very different chord progressions, different sounds, but it fits. There is a relatability, and that's so powerful. And the chord progression of Vincent's tale here, dun, 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 sounds more related to, in my opinion, Jenny and Screech's than Violet's tale. And to me, that matters, because that might imply that Vincent is indeed who I think he is.
It's a moment of madness inside of the woes. We all fall down in London town. Shaky ground carries me. Whoa, rains down, blindingly loud. Never surrender.
The sunflowers on fire. Wren is a master storyteller. Wow.
Oh, what a terrible scene. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines, planting seeds where the grass never grows. But the grass, it stays greener in places unknown as we all fall down in London town. Shit.
I gotta pause. I gotta pause the process. This is crazy. I just got startled by my own sleeve. Oh my gosh, I'm on the edge of my seat. The cinematography is amazing. The sunflowers on fire in a vase. This man who may or may not be Jenny and Screech's father. I don't know. The man in Violet's story. But what's blowing my mind right now, the lyrics are profound, the cinematography is wild, is Ren's voice. Oh my gosh. We know that he can rap, that he is the literary artiste, right? With his wordsmithery. We know that he is so talented when it comes to wordplay and poetry, with his cadence flow when it comes to rapping, beyond just throwing out some amazing bars. And those are legit and hard to break down sometimes because they're so intricate. But we also know he sings. But I feel like here he's bumping it up a notch when it comes to his vocal range. From the way that his voice has that beautiful timbre and that vibrato, and it goes so low as he opens up his voice, to then as he sails up almost with grit, almost with a little bit of a vocal fry, that rasp. The vocal range of this guy is phenomenal. But it's crazy because it fits so well to this ride he's taking us on. It also fits to that old-timey feeling when he goes into that lower register, because he's singing about London and he talks about seeds being planted in ground where they can't bloom, which makes me think of concrete, right? Where can a seed not grow? Usually in concrete, very few plants break through. It's not soil. It's not fertile. So it makes me think of the city life. It makes me think of London. He's talking about things falling down, the seed that can't sprout. And he's using that lower register that has that London feeling to me, that English, old-timey, I don't even know. It's just, it fits to the theme. It's phenomenal. Whenever I listen to Ren's music, I'm always amazed anew how intricate his work is, how intentional. Every element, from the way that he uses his voice to where he goes low to the run when he was talking about falling down and he did that run, to the notes that he sings, to the way that he uses his voice and applies it. It's an instrument in and of itself. That is not even talking about the musical composition when it comes to instrumentation. The horns, the piano in the background, that guitar riff in the beginning, and now the way it all builds into this phenomenal crescendo. That in of itself is like... Oh my gosh, Ren.
Blindingly loud, never surrender.
The guitar, oh my gosh. Oh, we're going old school video games. 80s feeling a bit. Ren looks pissed. That was amazing. The clock. Snap. That was Vincent's Tale, Sunflowers. That fast frame change in the end was interesting. Makes for good music videos because our brain, gives us that that rush when we're seeing all these frame changes gets that emotional response out of us. You got to stay alert, right? And you got imagery and certain colors and certain changes of scenes. Also watching these things, our mirror neurons firing, putting ourselves in that person's shoes, maybe feeling their brokenness or their anger, knowing what it's like to be sitting at a bar. You may or may not know that. I know what that's like. And these different scenes that are very relatable. And so you see something like this, and for some of us, because of our mirror neurons, we will feel like we're there with that person. We know what these human experiences are like. Like I said, being at the bar, being on a bus. But it's crazy to me because those scenes were all very human relatable. Working at a desk, going to the gas station or to some type of store, being out and about with friends, playing pool with your friends, sitting at a bar, paying for the tab. And now that switch, the whole composition having a very different feel, very eerie with that descent in notes with the piano, to him being in a cell, to him freestyling in what, jail? I mean, just it creates a lot of questions, which is brilliant because it was a beautiful way to present this prologue to us to now get ready for July 31st. And I love that, once again, he's just giving us a gift, but it's setting the stage for more. I also loved that note descent with the piano in the end because it sounded eerie. It adds to that build up emotionally, but it also makes me think of sunflowers because this one is called Sunflowers, and it makes me think of petals of a sunflower falling down, everything just breaking apart into chaos. Those sunflowers burning on that desk was very poignant. This man sitting on the sofa, unfazed. Is Vincent possibly Jenny and Screech's father? Because it started with the tragic story of those two on the news. Makes me wonder. But he was so unfazed by it. He's smoking rolling his cigarette, smoking his cigarette in his little apartment. Unfazed. Maybe because he doesn't know who these two are. Most likely because he doesn't know who these two are. I don't know if he would know, how he would know. But it's crazy to me how woven together our lives are and we don't even realize it. That's kind of what I'm taking away from this right now. Sunflowers, they grow in bunches. I don't think I've ever seen just one random sunflower by itself. Usually they are in fields and they're beautiful. But without sun, without soil, they wither. And you can have something as beautiful as a sunflower, something that was meant to be beautiful and was meant to bring joy and beauty. And you can have it completely wither when you don't take care of it. And in the same sense, that's how people are. When we don't take care of one another, when we don't nourish one another, when we sow our seeds in the wrong soil or where it cannot grow, it is bound to burn. It is bound to decay. And yet, sometimes we don't realize just how much a role we play in that picture. Just interesting to me where he's going with this. Vincent's tale, sunflowers. And I know that's going to play another role. The sunflowers is going to come to play either in the next one or as this storyline continues. A story, I'm sure we all know he says in the lyrics, that element of relatability. Even the way he says blinding me loud, right? That beautiful play on words, blinding me loud. How can something blind you loudly, right? Those are two different senses. So much poetry in his lyrics. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines. And that lyric also is interesting to me because in the end, as it goes between these scenes of a person at their desk going to the store, probably to use the money they just earned by working at the desk, to now spend it on drinks and time with friends, to now go do it all over again. And the corporate machines, it makes me wonder how that plays into Vincent's tale. But that also fits to the idea of Jenny and Screech because of how it's all connected, how even Screech, his fate was connected to that police officer who was doing his duty. It makes me also think of Ren's work, Money Games, and to me, perhaps there is that connection between all of the above, how all our stories are connected, both the money game, the corporate machines, how it impacts our life and how we go through the motion, as it showed with Ren flickering through these scenes of day-to-day life, working the 9 to 5, going through the motion, to a person who is now sitting on the sofa, who is directly affected by what's on the news, not even knowing it. And everything's up in flames. The grass stays greener in places unknown. That's interesting because usually there's phrases like the grass is greener on the other side or the grass is greener where you water it. To say the grass is greener in places unknown. What does that imply? When we don't know about another place, we may not go there. now to mess it up and make the grass worse. I don't know. Could be taken different ways. And then to all talk about fall down and London Bridge, right? London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. So talking about London and falling down and the kind of ring around a rosy. Again, that idea to me of we're all connected, we're all falling down. The grass is greener in places unknown. Those places we don't know about. That's where things might be better. In the idealistic or in the fantasy world or in the places we don't know. Maybe double entendre, because we don't know about them. There's places we dream of, we don't know, and the world is better there. Or because we don't know about them, we leave them alone, we don't ruin it all. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit doom and gloom of me to think and interpret the lyrics that way, but blinding me loud, never surrender. And the way that his voice just runs, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's amazing. What are your thoughts on this one? Subscribe. Ring that notification bell for Ren's next one for July 31st. I will see you on the next ride. Heyo!